Hi, I'm Al Henson, founder of Compassionate Hope Foundation. Today, I'd like to just share a story about one of our young ladies that have been rescued. As many of you know, Compassionate Hope Foundation is in Southeast Asia. We have 53 homes of hope in 30 locations, over 1,000 rescued ones now. Just about a year ago, in one of our villages of hope, a knock came at the door in the early evening. And our leader of that village received a woman with a 13-year-old young girl that was her daughter. The young girl's name, we'll just use the name Sarah. And this mother began to share the story about how that over the last 3 or 4 months, she'd noticed her daughter had become quiet and withdrawn and silent. And so finally her daughter had opened up in the last few days to her, and Mom found out that Dad and an uncle had been selling her to other men in the village. And if you understand the culture there somewhat, she knew she couldn't change this. She couldn't protect her daughter. And she'd heard of the homes of hope and the village of hope. So she had come this evening, and she asked the village of hope, the leader there, as she told her story, her situation, will you take my daughter, with tears. Can you imagine a mom giving her daughter up, the only way by which she thought she could protect her? And so the village leaders talked, and they decided to receive Sarah into one of our girls' homes of hope in this village of hope. And as they were ending the conversation, the village leader was aware of the safety around this. And so they had conversations about how to protect Sarah and how to make sure that no one found out that she was there, because men could come and steal her away. And then finally, the village shepherd said to the mom, and by the way, you're welcome to come and see your daughter whenever. The mom just wept and said, oh, can I come and see her? Actually, yes, you can come. I went to visit that village of hope a few months later, and with a translator and a couple of godly women around, I just wanted to meet Sarah. And I was very relaxed in the conversation, but somewhere along the line, I asked Sarah, are you happy to be here? She said yes. And I asked the question, what is the most important thing? What are one of the things you really enjoy? What are one of the things that you really are blessed with in the village of hope? And I thought she would talk about the wonderful food that she had, or the school that was there that she could attend. And her head had been down a lot. Now she lifted her head up, and this is what she said: safe, safe, I'm safe. And I remember how the Holy Spirit just really rung that word that I use often. And I thought, in my life generally, I know what it's like to be safe. But for her, this just described the horrific pain and woundedness and the destruction that she had been through in her soul. And now she was safe, full of hope, a home, and a future. She represents, stories are different, and not all stories are as tragic with our boys and girls in our homes of hope as this one. But she represents one of 1,000 boys and girls that are either in our homes of hope or now have been rescued or gone out into universities and colleges. And I share this story because right now we have a manna project where we're trying to provide rice for these precious boys and girls in these homes of hope. And for $50, you can buy a bag of rice that will feed 8 children for a month. Think about that, where you would go out and you and your mate and just have a meal. For that one meal, you could provide rice for 8 boys and girls. So would you prayerfully consider being a part of the Manna Project? We're asking God to give us 1,200 bags of rice. And we're about 3 weeks in now. We're past 700. We need about 500 more bags of rice. So maybe God would touch your heart. And every bag of rice that you give will be matched. So if you give 1, it would be 2. So prayerfully consider being a part of the Manna Project and helping us to provide rice for the least of these in the homes of hope.